What's up guys, it's Khoiii from Gentleman Within, a channel dedicated to helping men dress better and feel their best. And this video is a double Monkstrap duel between the Haan Madison versus Suitsupply's dark brown dub monk, H&M's suede premium line double Monkstrap, and the Beckett Simonon Hoyt. Stay tuned. As always, if you're interested in the brand histories and what they're all about, and for an overall deeper dive, you can head on over to Gentleman Within. I'm going to link down below, so go ahead and check that out. Now, without further ado, let's jump right in, starting with the style and design. So double Monkstraps are inherently a stylish shoe, and so all four of these are really stylish pairs. And so starting off with the Haan Madisons, it's got two functional buckles right here, and it's got this cap toe detail. It is in the British tan colorway, and so it's a light brown, also known as cognac or walnut. Although it's slightly more casual than darker colors like brown or like a burgundy, it's still pretty versatile in its own right. The outsole is not that thick. It's about a little over an inch in height, and so it's got a nice sleek profile. Next up is the H&M Suede Premium. And so this shoe right here, it's got a nice sleek, modern, minimalist silhouette here. It's got a nice rounded cap toe, much like the Haan's. And so the suede here is making it a lot more casual than the leather counterparts. It's got the same buckles as the Haan's as well. It's got this rubber strap here to make it a little easier to slide your feet in. And it's also got that cap toe detail along the front. Heel here is a little bit lower than Haan's. It's about an inch. And so it's got a little bit more of a sleeker profile. And it's also got some stitching here. It's probably not Goodyear or Blake stitched at the price point, but it's a really stylish looking shoe. Next, let's talk the style and design of Suitsupply's dark brown double monk. And so here again, just like the other ones, it's a really sleek profile. It's got the cap toe right here. The front here is not as rounded as the other two pairs. It's a little bit more pointy, and so, you know, loses some points there. I like more of a rounded toe. It's got these nice golden brass buckles here. These look better than the plasticky kind, and they're actually strapped down with leather. There's no elastic band here, and so it's just leather that's stitched onto the leather. I don't know what's more durable. Maybe the leather probably is more durable than the rubber band, but there's not as much elasticity to allow for easy slip-on, but not a big deal. It's in this dark brown colorway, and it looks particularly sleek because of this Blake stitch construction. It's probably the sleekest of all four here because the sole here doesn't protrude that far out, and so it's a really stylish looking shoe. Now let's take a look at Beckett Simonon's Hoyt Monkstrap. And so the silhouette of this shoe is very similar to the Durant Brogues from Beckett Simonon. I did a review on them, or the Dean Oxford, very similar silhouette. And it's similar to Haan as well. Got a nice rounded toe here, just like the H&M. And it's got a cap toe along the front, little detail. The buckles are a little bit more shiny than all the other Monkstraps, and so kind of gives off a little bit more of a cheaper feel. But, you know, looking closer, it's kind of brushed silver, so it's not that plasticky looking, but from a distance it does look like it's plastic. This is the Bordeaux colorway, and so it's a rich kind of burgundy, hints of purple in there, and so it's a lot more versatile than the walnut shade pair, but all of them are quite versatile and quite stylish. And so if I were to choose a winner here, I would go with the H&M. I like suede, and I think that the H&M pair just has, you know, a nice clean and modern silhouette, and I usually wear this the most often out of these pairs as well, just because it's got the suede. I love the suede, and it's a really comfortable pair, and I think it's really stylish, but it's really close. But if I had to choose, it'd be the H&M. Now let's get into the quality and craftsmanship of the shoes. Now with style and design, there are a lot of similarities, but with quality and craftsmanship, there are a lot of differences. So let's start off first with Haan. The Haan Madison has a really solid construction. It feels really good. And I've had it for almost 5 years now, and I've worn it a good amount. And the times that I've worn it, it feels like a really well-constructed shoe. But what is the quality really? So I actually reached out to them. I tried to find out like where they source their leathers from, and So this one's actually made in India, but I tried to figure out like what type of construction the shoe has, whether it's a Blake or a Goodyear welt, and I couldn't find out that information, but they did forward me to myshoehospital.com, which is the repair shop for Haan, and so they were able to tell me that the shoe is actually cemented on. It's not Blake stitched, and so this is like a faux Goodyear welt here, which I get it, it's for aesthetic purposes to make it look like it's a high quality Goodyear welted shoe, when in reality it's not. There's actually no stitching on the sole, outsole here. There's just another aesthetic stitch there, but it's a cemented shoe. And what kind of leather? Now, over the years, this shoe has been pretty resistant to scratches and scuffing, and so that kind of leads me to believe that it's corrected grain leather instead of full grain. And so corrected grain leather refers to hides that have been buffed or sanded on the grain surface in order to remove the marks and imperfections. And so they remove the imperfections and emboss like fake grain patterns into it. And so that's why this shoe doesn't really have that kind of luster shine that full grain leather has. Kind of looks like fake leather, and corrected grain actually takes a lot longer to break in and for the leather to soften up, which this leather is quite stiff. And so it feels and looks like a solid shoe, but on the inside, I think that it's not that well of a constructed shoe. For the quality and construction of H&M's suede pair, now there's not that much information about this out there. It's actually made in Portugal, and so I'm not sure if this is sourced from Portugal, but they do make them in Portugal. And according to the website, it says it's a premium quality and it's suede monk straps with an adjustable fastening with metal buckles at the top, toe caps, leather lining and insoles, and a rubber sole here. And so there's really not much about the construction at the price point, which is around like $70. I highly doubt that it's a Blake or Goodyear welt, but it does have that out here for the aesthetic reasons. The shoe feels solid and it wears well, but I don't think that it's going to hold up with, say, a more expensive shoe that is made in somewhere like Italy. But at the price point and made in Portugal, it's actually a really well put together shoe. There's really no QC issues. The suede is nice and soft, and you know, it wears really well. It's just a really high quality shoe. The inside, it's all leather lined, and on the inside, the leather is really soft as well. And so even though there's not a lot of information out there regarding this shoe, it does feel like a really well-made shoe. Hey, what's up guys? If you're enjoying this video, could you just smash that like button for me real quick? That'd be awesome, thanks. Now back to the video. All right, so let's talk the quality and construction of the Suitsupply shoe. Now, Suitsupply, as you know, is made in Italy. So these shoes are also made in Italy. And with Italian-made products, you expect a certain level of quality, right? Well, with these monk straps, let me preface it by saying that I got these shoes from their outlet sale, which it's their final sale. And so I'm sure items that they sell there tend to have, it could have cosmetic defects and things like that. And so, you know, take that into consideration. But, you know, I've noticed some loose stitching along these shoes, and there was just a kind of like a huge gash along the leather in the front. And so, you know, that was kind of disappointing, seeing those imperfections on a shoe that I expected to be, you know, high quality control. But again, I paid $100 less than the shoe's actually worth. As I mentioned before, the Suitsupply double monks are Blake stitched, and so it's the construction method that you can actually resole the shoe when it wears down on the soles. A machine has to do Blake stitching. Goodyear welted can be hand resoled, but Blake stitch is still a sign of a high quality shoe. Again, made in Italy, and the leather is just really soft and supple, and it just feels like some high quality full grain Italian calf leather. And the creasing is basically, it's super minimal. There's virtually no creasing at all. And so these shoes have proven to be quite durable, which we'll talk about durability a little bit later. The shoes are fully leather lined, and so they're extremely breathable and comfortable to wear. And there's a little detail here that you don't notice too much of, but I know the Beckett Simonon also has it, but there's something called French binding, which is a piece of leather that goes on the inside between the lining and the leather upper. And so it helps to give the shoe more of a structure, and it also aids in, you know, helping the shoe retain that structure. And so overall that just helps to give the shoe more of a clean finish. It's a nice attention to detail that shows that it's a quality shoe. And now it's time for the Beckett Simonon Hoyt Quality and Construction. So, you know, the shoe here, it's just like the Madison, you know, it's a really solidly constructed shoe. Actually, just like all of them, it feels solid. It's made with a Blake stitch construction like Suitsupply's, but it's not quite as sleek as theirs. The leather is nice and soft and supple. It's much softer than the corrected grain leather of Haan's, and it's full grain calfskin leather from Argentina. So it's that full grain leather that is high quality and durable, that's going to, you know, break in and develop a patina over time. Again, it's Blake stitched and a QC check. There were no loose threads, no scuff marks. It was really pristine when I got it right out of the box. And so, you know, their QC was on point. The shoe is also leather lined, just like all the other pairs, with vegeta leather, and so it's nice and soft and breathable. For the sole, it's got a full leather sole here with the heel, rubber heel in the back that aids in traction. And just like the Suitsupply pair, there is that French binding, you know, along the back here, and so it gives it that structure and it gives it a nice clean profile. The buckles are securely attached with this rubber elastic band here, and so the quality construction, I give it high marks. And so for the winner of quality construction, I would have to give it to Beckett Simonon. It's just a really well constructed shoe with high quality leather, and they do a really good job with the QC. And then next I would say Suitsupply, H&M, and then Haan. Now let's talk about shoe comfort. For the comfortability of all the shoes, they're all actually quite comfortable. I never have foot pain when I'm wearing any of them. And so the Haan's, just want to mention that there's that Grand OS technology, which is what they, you know, sort of implemented when Nike bought them a long time ago. Nike doesn't own the company anymore, but they still have that technology. And so it's like really soft. It's like you're walking on air. And so it also helps make the shoe pretty light. The H&M, really comfortable. It's got the leather lining in there, and it's just nice and soft and comfortable. And again, these two, Suitsupply, Beckett Simonon, really comfortable. They're all leather lined, and so they're breathable. Your feet aren't gonna sweat when you're wearing them. It is worth mentioning that they're all standard D-width shoes. The Haan's, they come in wider or narrow, or I think there's just a wide option for the Haan, but all the other ones, there's only one size. And so if you have narrow feet or a little bit wider, you know, you might have a little bit of foot pain wearing them. So keep that in mind. But for comfort, they're all really comfortable shoes. And now for the shoe's durability, Haan's. Now, Haan's have this corrected grain leather, as I mentioned before, and so it's really resistant to scratching and marks, and so it's actually a highly durable shoe. I had this the longest, and it probably looks the cleanest out of all of them. And so I haven't had to, you know, buff it up or anything like that. It's just a really durable leather. And the sole is also part leather, part rubber in the middle here, and so there's some good traction there. But I've worn them many dozens of times, and you know, it's been holding up really well. Really durable shoe. H&M's. Now, these premium shoes, I probably have worn these more than any of the shoes here in the time that I've had them. And so I've had these for over 2 years now. These shoes sold out quite a while ago, and they're just not back. But they do have a black pair in their premium line, but the suede is gone. It sold out really quickly too. But so I'm glad I jumped on these. These were just a value play for the price that I paid, $70. Highly durable shoe. It's got the rubber sole here, leather it's got the split rubber leather heel, and all in all, it's held up through a lot. I've worn it, you know, when it was raining, and the suede has held up quite nicely. And it's got a really nice nap. It's not like, you know, too fuzzy looking, and it's not harsh and rough. It's really soft. So really durable shoe. Suitsupply's shoe durability, similar to the other ones. It's, you know, leather lined. It's got the split leather rubber bottom here. So it's got great traction. The leather is super soft and virtually no creasing. The inside is fully leather lined, nice and breathable. I've just had very minimal maintenance on these shoes. Granted, I got them about a year ago. I haven't had to polish them or anything like that, so the leathers are holding up really well. And finally, the Beckett Simonon. There are quite a few scratches on these shoes. I haven't been treating them too well. I've had these Hoyts for about a year now and worn them over a dozen times. And so, there's a good amount of creasing, but that's typical. It's just the same as my other Beckett Simonon pairs. Just throw in some shoe trees and you'll be good. But the leathers are nice and soft and supple. It doesn't feel like cheap leather, but I've worn them for long days, worn them in the rain, and they do hold up really well. So for durability grades, I would say they all grade pretty well. If I had to choose a winner, I would say it's between these two guys, Haan or the H&M. But at the end of the day, all of them are on pretty even ground when it comes to durability. For shoe sizing, they all run pretty true to size. So these Haans are 7.5, I'm 7.5, and they fit perfectly. Haan also does offer the wider option, and so it's always good to have that wide option. The H&Ms, these are 7.5 as well, fit me perfectly, same size as the Haans. The Suitsupply also 7.5, and so they all run true to size. And then again, well, the Beckett Simonons I got in size 8, and so they don't actually carry 7.5s. So these are actually a little bit bigger on my feet than the other pairs, and so again, they're true to size. Now let's wrap things up here with price to performance. So the Haan Madison, I got these for like low $100-some. This is sold out, but they have the Grand Warner Monk, which is very similar silhouette to this, and it is $300 retail. Way too expensive for a shoe like this. $300 I would not pay to get a shoe like this. I would go for like an Allen Edmonds, at that price point, or even Suitsupply, but $300, way too expensive. Good thing is Haan is on sale quite often. Actually, these shoes are slashed down to $118 right now. And so at that price point, I'd say it's highly worth it. Granted, there's no Goodyear welt, it's cemented on, and so, when the soles run out, you're pretty much screwed there and you're just gonna throw them away. But again, as I said before, it's really durable. It's been holding up for a really long time, and so, I'd say at, a low $100-some shoe, definitely worth it. H&M's premium Monkstrap, I'd say is highly worth it at the price point. It's around, I got mine for $69.99. They're now $79.99, so they upped them by 10. But even at $79, under $100, and you're getting a shoe made in Portugal with, legit suede, fully leather lined, and it's buttery soft. It's really comfortable, stylish looking shoe, and so I'd say at that price point, definitely worth it. And other shoes in H&M's premium line, I'm sure, are just like this one, and so I'd say H&M's premium line is legit. Definitely the best bang for your buck out of these 4 shoes. All right, so Suitsupply, these are $250, and so I'd say at that price point, it's a good price point for these shoes. They're Italian made, they look great, Blake stitch construction, and the cap toe is a really stylish shoe, well made. And I actually got these for $150, as I mentioned before, from the outlet sale. And so at $150, it's a steal in my opinion for an Italian made shoe that's ultra sleek and stylish. So these shoes punch above its weight for sure. Finally, the Beckett Simonon Hoyt. These have a traditional retail price, according to Beckett Simonon, at $350, which is, in my opinion, a little bit expensive for these shoes. Again, at that price point, I'd be opting for something like Allen Edmonds. But as you know, Beckett Simonon doesn't sell for traditional retail, and so these are actually $199. And so at that price point, it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. You've got that machetta lined leather on the inside, fully leather lined, and it is just the full grain leather on the outside. Just high quality stuff here. Blake stitch shoe, leather sole. It's got that French binding, so it's got the little details, and these are handmade in small batches, and so that's a little downside of Beckett Simonon, is that you're gonna have to wait that 3-month period, but if you can wait, definitely well worth it, as you know, many guys can attest to. And then there are discount codes out there. I actually have one for Beckett Simonon. It is Gent Within. You can get 20% off, and so it knocks it down to $159, which at that point makes it a super steal. And so, you know, in terms of price to performance, Beckett Simonon Hoyt gets high grades. All right, so you guys have seen me drone on for way too long about double monk strap shoes, style and construction and leather lining and French binding and crazy stuff like that. So thanks if you made it all the way through. Hope you got some value out of this video. And again, I have the links if you want a deeper dive on my blog, so you can check out the Suitsupply review and the comparisons I did. And so yeah, that's all I got for this video. Thanks as always for following along. If you made it all the way through, I want to thank you for watching. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you liked it, please give it that thumbs up. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Put out new videos like this weekly. That's all I got for this video. Cheers to your style, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.